Trey Lance's bad day. What happened? I'll take you play by play before I give you a summarization and an analysis of what happened. Okay. So, first play, scrambles for 5. These are all the non-handoffs. Scrambles for 5. No one's open. Then we got first throw of the day, intercepted. This is to Debo crossing the middle on an intermediate route. Throw is high. Debo gets his hands on it. Emmanuel Mosley gets his hands on it. Pops up in the air. Talanoa Hufanga picks it off. Diving. Nice play by the defense. Bad throw. High by Lance. 2 plays later, intercepted again. Consecutive throws. This time to Debo again. Defended by Mosley again. This time high again. But Debo touches it. It tips off his hands. And Mosley catches it this time for the interception. This one was more on the perimeter, but still about 15 yards down the field. Next throw to Debo. Quick out, 10 yards against Diamador Lenore. Lance also got sacked by a blitzing George Odom on the play. Next play, a little quick screen to Ray McLeod. These are completions. Next play, 3rd and 5. Throws over the middle to Danny Gray, way high. High. He was open. Right read. Bad throw. 2 of 6 at this point. 3rd and 8. Next play. Brandon Ayuk deep. Up the sideline against Mosley. No chance. Incomplete. Not open. Then Lance checks it down to Davis Price for 5 just to get some confidence. Then on 3rd and 7, Lance has a really nice throw to George Kittle for 10. That's Lance's best throw of the day so far. First down. Next play, 3rd and 10. Lance throws over the middle to Kittle way high. Hits Dante Johnson in the chest. He drops it. That should have been pick number 3. Again, right read. Guy was open. Bad throw. Okay. They do the special teams. They take about 10 minutes break. I'm sure Brian Greasy, someone went over to Lance. I'm guessing, hey, man, you're missing high a lot. Let's make an adjustment. Let's do something different. So they come back. First play is a option. And instead of pitching it, he holds onto it, runs around, and loses 2 yards. Next play, 2nd and 12. Throws to Debo over the middle on a crossing route, intermediate route. This time it's underthrown, intercepted by Fred Warner. So I guess whatever the adjustment was, what he over-adjusted, underthrown, picked off. 3rd pick of the day should have been 4. Next play, 2nd and 10, quick screen to Brandon Ayuk. Again, a confidence builder, 5-yard gain. Next play, 3rd and 5, quarterback draw. These are the kind of plays we're going to see Kyle call for Trey Lance if he's missing these throws over the middle. Next play, 4th and 1, complete to Kittle for 10 yards. He was covered by Dre Greenlaw. Kittle's having a really good camp. He just needs to stay healthy because he's the best receiver on the team right now. Better than Debo and Ayuk. Next play, a little throw out to the outside to Trey Sermon for no gain. Next play, this is Lance. If you call him, hey, if he's one play, Trey, this is his one play of the day. 3rd and 11, absolute bullet over the middle to Brandon Ayuk in stride for 15 yards on a crossing route. Finally hit that. I guess they were practicing the in breaker today, and it didn't go so well. He has a tendency to miss it high. When you miss it high, picked. When you miss it under low, picked. So I don't know if they're going to be calling this a lot during the regular season, but they called it a lot today. He hit it once at the end. Then he did a zone read for 1 yard. Then he hit Kittle on a quick out on 2nd and 9 for 5. Then he went deep to Debo, incomplete. Covered by Diamador Lenore. Only time he ever hits Debo is like on screens or deep crossing routes on play action when there's no one around him. Otherwise, that's not working. I'll talk about that in a minute. What I want to point out with Trey Lance, this happens to him sometimes. I mean, his pattern has been good day, bad day a little bit. And when he has bad days, They're different than his predecessor's bad days. His predecessor had days like this. He had a day where he threw 5 picks in a row. If you don't know who I'm talking about, he wears number 10, came from New England. You know who I'm talking about. He had a day where he had lots of days like this. But the difference, and I think why the Niners moved on and were more frustrated with him than Lance, is that the predecessor, his mistakes were usually mental, forcing a pass into double coverage, not seeing the coverage. They were rarely physical mistakes. And I feel like with coaches in any sport, they would prefer physical mistakes than mental mistakes. Usually. Physical mistakes are usually more fixable than the mental ones. So Lance, he seems like he knows where to go with the ball. He seems like he's aggressive. He seems like he's making the right reads and throwing the ball down the field and trying to get the first down. It's just today he was all over the place. And it was clear when he missed the first couple of throws high, it was like, oh, it's going to be that kind of day for Lance, huh? It's going to be the kind of day where he misses high a lot. And I don't know, maybe that's what Mike Silver was talking about when he was talking about arm fatigue. But how could his arm be tired? He hasn't practiced since last Thursday. Had the day off Friday, didn't play Saturday, had the day off Sunday. He had 3 days off. His arm can't be tired. So I don't know what this is. It doesn't seem like it's been an issue for him on game days in his life, but he does have days in practice where it's like, dude, you keep missing high. Can you make an adjustment? I don't know. Usually when quarterbacks miss high, it's because they're dropping their elbow and pushing the ball and it's sailing, or they're overstriding and they're, instead of finishing out in front, they're finishing back. I don't know. Figure it out. Brian Greasy, quarterback coach, figure this out, man. It's a bad look for Trey. It's a bad look for the quarterback coach. These are mechanical, physical flaws. So I'm not saying Niner fans should be upset or disheartened or panicked, but he's a project. Look, he was the right pick at 3. When you trade up that high, you have to gamble on traits. He has them. It's difficult. It's interesting scouting quarterbacks these days. 25 years ago, it was a lot harder because college football was a run-first game. It was all about running the ball. Now it's wide open passing. So a lot of these quarterbacks like Brock Purdy have 4 years of experience, a ton of throws. You can really, really evaluate them as passers. And what they did in college a lot of the time transfers to the NFL. And there's the other kind of quarterbacks like Trey Lance, Josh Allen, who were not scouted properly and fell through the cracks and were projects. I mean, you want those quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers was like that. Aaron Rodgers went to community college, then transferred. Josh Allen went to community college, then transferred. Trey Lance had no D1 offers. So he's 22. He's not a finished product. If he ends up being Josh Allen, it's a success. I saw some people saying he needs to be ready right away because there's some people in their primes. You can't waste it. Yeah, well, okay. That's that's true. And that's Kyle's choice to go with a young guy over someone like Matthew Stafford. But if this guy at 23, 24 ends up being a top 5 quarterback and they missed this window, well, at least they have a top 5 quarterback. That means they'll have another window for a long time. And I'm not saying he's going to be a top 5 quarterback, but I'm also saying he doesn't have to be a finished product. He's not going to be a finished product. He's a lot like Josh Allen. Remember, Josh Allen is from Firebaugh, California. It's half the size of Marshall, Minnesota. Josh Allen wanted to go to Fresno State. Fresno State was like, we're not interested. Josh Allen, one of the most physically gifted quarterbacks ever, was snubbed by nothing schools that got quarterbacks who had no physical gifts. He betted himself, went to community college, went to Wyoming. Look at him now. Sometimes you got to take a leap of faith. The Niners took it. I think they made the right move. You're just going to have to sort of stomach these days, and I'm sure the Bills did. Keneal says, as long as he's good on Sundays, I'm not stressing. Well, he seems to be so far.